Welcome in, everybody. Today's deep dive, a pretty remarkable story
Yeah, it is.
about a waitress, Dana,
Okay.
at a high-end D.C. restaurant.
I see.
And it all comes down to one encounter that really changed her life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's about kindness, of course,
Right.
but I think also about resilience and those moments that, kind of set off these huge changes for people.
I think that's really fascinating about this whole story is how
Mm.
a single interaction can be so powerful,
Yeah.
especially in a really formal setting like that,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. And we're going to be focusing on Dana specifically.
Okay.
She was a waitress at this restaurant,
Hmm.
super dedicated, and she had this big dream of opening her own cafe one day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the place she worked was La Maison,
La Maison.
which if you know D.C. at all,
Yeah.
it's one of those prestigious restaurants there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a demanding job for sure,
I bet.
but she really thrived in that fast-paced world.
I can see that.
Now imagine this. It's a typical Friday night.
Okay.
The restaurant's bustling,
Uh-huh.
and in walks Melania Trump.
Oh, wow.
I can only imagine how the atmosphere must have shifted like that.
I mean, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
You're already in this high-stakes environment,
Right.
and then you add a high-profile figure like that to the mix.
Exactly. And from everything we've gathered about Dana, she was just incredibly professional, even under that kind of pressure.
Well, that's good.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You're serving a former first lady
Right.
with a room full of people just watching your every move.
I'd be so nervous.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Dana didn't miss a beat.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Melania is known for being pretty reserved,
Yeah, she is.
but she was actually really observant that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't like she was just another face in the crowd to Melania.
Interesting.
There's actually this moment described where someone from another table made some kind of snide comment about how Dana must be freaking out.
Oh, gosh.
But you know what?
What?
Dana didn't even flinch.
Wow.
She just stayed totally focused on doing her job.
Good for her.
And I think Melania really noticed that too.
Yeah, I mean, that speaks volumes about Dana's resilience.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see that Melania acknowledges that later on, too.
Right.
It's like she saw past just Dana's competence
Yeah.
and recognized this inner strength, too.
Yeah, and throughout the evening, Dana noticed Melania kind of watching her,
Huh.
almost studying her,
Yeah.
but not in a judgmental way,
Right.
but more like with curiosity.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and, this whole idea of being seen is
Yeah.
so important,
I agree.
especially in that kind of setting.
Mm-hmm.
This whirlwind of high-end dining, it's easy for the staff to feel invisible.
Right.
But Melania kind of broke that pattern.
Yeah.
She really acknowledged Dana as an individual.
In her own way.
Right. And now picture this.
Okay.
The meal is winding down.
Uh-huh.
Dana brings the check over to the table.
Okay.
What happens next?
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Right.
Yeah.
So Melania thanks Dana for her service,
Okay.
and there's a generous tip, of course.
I would imagine so.
But then there's something else.
Oh.
There's a handwritten note
Hmm?
tucked into the check presenter.
A handwritten note.
Think about that.
Yeah.
In our digital age,
Right.
that is a powerful statement in itself.
It really is.
It shows intention,
Absolutely.
a real desire to connect on a deeper level.
Which is rare these days.
So rare. And the words in that note,
Okay.
this is what changes everything for Dana.
Whoa.
Let me read it to you. It says,
Okay.
Dana, your kindness and hard work do not go unnoticed. You have a rare grace and resilience that shines through in all you do. This is for you to take a step toward your dreams.
Wow.
So powerful,
It
right?
really is.
And this is where it becomes more than just a financial thing.
Exactly.
It's about validation,
Yes.
encouragement,
Mm.
woven into those words.
Mm.
Melania recognized Dana's spirit,
Yeah.
her drive, and she offered support on multiple levels. I mean, the tip itself was enough to pay off some bills
Oh, wow.
and let Dana start saving for that dream cafe.
That's incredible.
But the note,
Mm-hmm.
that was the real game changer.
I bet.
Yeah, it was like receiving permission to believe in herself.
Right.
And from someone who has achieved a significant level of success. And the sources describe Dana as just overwhelmed,
Yeah.
tears, disbelief.
Makes sense.
But then something amazing happens.
Well, what's that?
Her coworkers rally around her.
Oh, how sweet.
They're celebrating her good fortune.
Oh, that's so nice.
And that's how kindness becomes contagious.
Yeah.
It
Right.
creates this ripple effect.
Oh,
It
that's
spreads outward. And Dana, buoyed by all this support, she calls her brother,
Oh, wow.
who's always been her biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And with this newfound confidence and the financial security, she's finally ready to take those concrete steps toward her dreams.
So exciting.
It becomes a turning point.
Yeah.
It's no longer just this far-off dream.
Right.
It's a plan in motion.
Amazing.
The note served as a catalyst, pushing Dana to take action. It's so inspiring to see how Dana takes this and just runs with it.
It really is.
You know, she's got this newfound energy, this feeling of empowerment,
Right.
and she's ready to make this cafe dream a reality.
It's amazing what a little validation can do.
Seriously.
You know, it wasn't just the money.
Right.
It was someone believing in her that gave her the confidence to move forward.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
It really is.
Like, we need that push
that spark
to ignite our own fire.
Exactly.
And Dana was definitely on fire at this point.
I can imagine.
She just poured herself into this project.
Wow.
Researching loans, scouting locations, creating business plans.
All the things she'd put off.
Yeah, all those steps she'd been hesitant to take before.
Right.
But now it was different.
Now she had a reason. And what I find really interesting is how this story goes beyond just her own personal achievement.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dana's Cafe, it becomes something bigger.
You're right. It becomes a reflection of her journey and a symbol of possibility for her community.
I love that.
Yeah.
And remember that supportive buzz from her coworkers?
Oh, yeah.
That sense of community? It extends to Dana's Cafe.
Totally.
It becomes this gathering place, this place where people connect and feel that same warmth.
And I think that feeling is amplified by the fact that everyone knows her story.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they're buying into a piece of that story.
Yeah.
Of resilience and hope.
Along with their coffee and pastries.
Right.
I love that.
So the grand opening of Dana's Cafe.
Yeah.
It was a culmination of years of hard work.
Of course.
But it was also a direct result of that single act of kindness.
That set everything in motion.
Exactly.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
The power of human connection. How even small gestures can have this ripple effect, not just on the recipient, but on the whole community.
Dana's story becomes an inspiration. You know?
Yeah.
It shows what can happen when someone believes in you.
Right.
And you, in turn, believe in yourself enough to take that leap.
And that brings up another interesting question.
What's that?
How do we find those moments?
Yeah.
To offer that kind of support to others.
Right.
Even in small ways.
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
Because we encounter people like Dana every day.
Oh, all the time.
The barista who remembers our order. The delivery driver who navigates traffic to get us our food.
Right.
The cashier who offers a friendly smile despite a long shift.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture.
No, not at all.
Sometimes a simple thank you,
Yeah.
a genuine compliment, or just acknowledging their effort.
It can make all the difference.
It really can.
It's about seeing their humanity.
Yeah.
Letting them know they're appreciated.
Like that quote.
Which one?
Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle.
Oh, yeah.
We never know what someone else is going through.
That's so true.
And a little kindness can go a long way.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about being kind to strangers.
Right?
It's about being present and aware of those in our own lives.
Yes.
Who could use support.
Like maybe they're working towards a goal. Or struggling with a challenge.
Right.
Or just need a reminder they're not alone.
Dana's story reminds us that we all have the potential to make a difference in someone's life.
That's a good point.
So what act of kindness will you choose today?
And on the flip side, it's important to be open to receiving kindness too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Sometimes we get so focused on our own struggles,
Right.
we miss the people trying to help us.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So we need to be willing to let people in, accept their support,
Right.
and allow ourselves to be lifted up.
Because who knows? Maybe that small act of kindness will be the catalyst that changes our lives.
Just like it did for Dana.
Exactly.
Well said.
Thanks.
Dana's story, it wasn't meant to end at that restaurant.
Right.
It was just the beginning. That act of kindness, it planted a seed that blossomed into something much greater
than anyone could have imagined.
It really is a story about the power of human connection and how it can spark these remarkable transformations.
And that brings us to a final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
How can we all be more aware of the potential in others? Not just seeing what they do,
Right.
but but who they are.
Yeah.
And how we might offer support and encouragement.
I like that.
Maybe even a little nudge in the right direction.
That's a fantastic question.
It is something to think about.
It is.
And it brings our deep dive into Dana's inspiring story to a close.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
And remember, kindness is contagious.
Let's start an epidemic.
You know that question you asked at the end of the last part? It really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
About how we can all be more aware of the potential in others.
It's easy to get caught up in our own lives.
Yeah.
And miss those chances to really see people,
Right.
to look beyond the surface and recognize their dreams.
Their aspirations.
Exactly.
And to your point earlier,
Yeah.
it's not just about being the one to offer kindness.
Right.
It's also about being open to receiving it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes pride or fear gets in the way of accepting help.
Even when we need it the most.
And that takes courage
It does.
to be vulnerable
Yeah.
and admit we need support.
But allowing ourselves to receive kindness, it can be just as powerful as giving it.
Right.
It creates connection,
Yeah.
strengthens those bonds between people.
And Dana's story, perfect example of that.
Oh, yeah.
She was open to Melania's kindness,
Right.
and it changed everything.
It really did.
Imagine if she dismissed the note or felt like it was inappropriate or undeserved.
Yeah.
That one act of acceptance, it was the catalyst for everything that followed. It makes you think about all those seemingly small moments
Yeah.
that have shaped our own lives.
Right.
Those moments of encouragement or support or connection that we might not have appreciated at the time.
It's funny how that works.
It is.
We often don't realize the significance until we look back.
Yeah, like connecting the dogs retrospectively.
Exactly.
And that makes you wonder what dots we're creating right now that we might not fully appreciate until much later.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to be present
Yeah.
and mindful in our interactions,
Mm-hmm.
to truly see the people in front of us,
Right.
not just as passing figures in our day, and to be open
Yeah,
to both giving and receiving kindness,
absolutely.
knowing that even the smallest gestures can have a ripple effect.
That extends far beyond ourselves.
Well said.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay.
I'm listening. In the next 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
make a conscious effort to offer a genuine act of kindness to someone.
Okay.
It could be a stranger, a friend, a family member,
Anyone?
and be open to receiving kindness too.
Yeah.
You never know the impact it might have.
That's a great challenge.
I think so.
And a perfect note to end on.
It was a good conversation.
It was.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
And to everyone listening.
Yes, to all our listeners out there.
Remember, kindness is a powerful force.
Let's use it.
Let's make the world a brighter place.